Hello and welcome to this patch 12.13 breakdown video where we go back over the most common matchups, as you can see here, from patch 12.13 in the 4 major regions. Keep in mind, this is 100% in a vacuum. That means players can be better than other players within these matchups. Jungle proximity, itemization, team versus team, everything outside of simply Gwen versus Gnar is not factored in. So obviously, that's a thing. There are infinite amount of variables. But that's also why I use at least 10 matchups. Maybe there's a trend after we get higher than 10, but it's just nice to look at and just see where the trends are as the split goes along. In top lane, we had 25 different champions picked on 12-13. Gnar, clearly, most common champion. Gnar was, all 4 most picked matchups had Gnar in it. It was pick Gnar, and then who do we want to play against it? Gwen 22 times, Gnar had the edge 68% of the time. A lot of people probably be surprised. Gangplank had the edge over Gnar, which makes sense. And Sejuani, which was a surprise to me, was beating up on Gnar pretty good on 12-13. 9 times we saw Jax versus Gnar as well. So if Gnar was not banned, it was picked in the first rotation, and then it was who do we play against it. And more often than not, Gwen, GP, Sejuani, and Jax were the picks. And despite a lot of people's high prio on Gwen, Gwen was not doing all that hot against Gnar. In the jungle, we had 19 different matchups. Most commonly, Viego versus Wukong. This has happened the last couple patches. This is what was setting the tone for a while, and now things are starting to change. But Viego versus Wukong 19 times, Wukong winning 67% of the time. Poppy versus Wukong. Poppy had the edge over Wukong 60% of the time through 15 matchups. We saw that starting to transpire. Then people would pick Trundle into Poppy. Trundle getting the edge 62% of the time. So you see how things were going, like, oh, well, if this is banned, we're going to pick this, and then this is what the most common counter was, and the win rate makes sense. Oh, well, this is why this pick was picked into it. Like, it was working. Maybe in the 1 or 2 games you watched, it didn't. Maybe, obviously, there's many different factors as to why a matchup goes the way it does. That's why we use so many matchups to try and just get a trend of an idea. Viego versus Poppy. Poppy winning against Viego. Poppy was the pick. It became the pick at the end of the patch, and it is the pick in 12-14. Trundle versus Wukong, 5-5 in a draw. Obviously, like even Viego versus Poppy, like I said, Poppy won, but it was 6-5. That 11th matchup could have went one way or the other. Who knows? Just 1 second. Sorry about that, and I'm sorry if I was off the screen a bit there. Garbage truck went by, so I had to stop the video. And I know there's a lawnmower in the background, but I'm not gonna close the window. It's way too damn hot. So Poppy versus Viego, like it was 6-5. So could that 11th matchup have went the other way, and then it would have been the opposite? Yes. So take that for what you will. Mid lane, 21 different mid laners. Ahri versus Taliyah, 17 times. Ahri having the edge 71%. A lot of people thought Taliyah had the edge. It was not the case. Ahri comes out on top. Sylas versus Taliyah. Sylas was not as strong this patch as he was on 12-12. On 12-12, he was very dominant against Ahri and Taliyah, I'm pretty sure, but it didn't reach 10 matchups for it to be included on the board. But Taliyah had the edge on Sylas, and then 9 times we saw Azir into Ahri. Azir becoming meta towards the end, and Azir being a common pick now. In bot lane, Zeri versus Sivir. Zeri first pick or ban, right? So what was going to work into Zeri? People were trying Jinx, it wasn't working. Twitch, it wasn't working. Sivir on 12-12 wasn't really working all that much. But on 12-13, Sivir worked, winning 56% of the time. It had the edge. So Zeri, despite being OP as hell and dominating when it's on, it actually lost more often than it won against Sivir. And then the rest of the way was all Aphelios. So if Zeri was banned, Sivir might have been banned as well. And then it was, okay, well, who do we want to pick into Aphelios? The thing is, teams were picking Aphelios, and Aphelios was losing in all of its matchups. 17 times against Jinx, losing, Jinx 65%. 14 times against Sivir, Sivir 71%. Kalista versus Aphelios, Kalista 67%. Lucian versus Aphelios, in 11 matchups, 64%. So Aphelios was losing against everything. 1 second, another garbage truck. Sorry about that. just as I was getting like really into it. So really, pretty much, Aphelios was not the pick. Teams should have went elsewhere. Figure it out. But Aphelios was not the answer. Anytime someone brought up Aphelios, just said no. In draft, no. Pick something else. Because Aphelios was losing against everything. Support. 23 different supports. And I don't know if I mentioned there are 20 different 80 carries. 23 supports. Nothing happened 10 times, which doesn't normally happen for support. Usually there is a very dominant handshake that teams agree we're not going to ban out. But, you know, enchanters, Nami versus Lulu. That was most common. Followed by Yuumi versus Lulu. If Yuumi was up, Yuumi was picked, and then it was Lulu into it more often than not. But really, there were a lot of picks into Yuumi. 8 times, if teams did not want to go with enchanters, we saw Renata versus Nautilus. The common matchup that just is not, you know what I'm saying. Playmaking sort of supports. And then 7 times Nami versus Nautilus if teams wanted to mix it up. So, you know, the support meta was all over the place, but we were pretty sure, I mean, it still looks like it's going to be Lulu Yuumi for now, based on how 12-14 started. Not a lot of differences, really. Maybe in the jungle, less Gnar priority so far, because I think Gnar got nerfed on this patch, so, you know, on 12-14, so it isn't picked as often. Sivir as well was nerfed, I think, a little bit, or Sivir might be getting nerfed on 12-15, and Zeri got nerfed on 12-14. Zeri got nerfed on 12-14 for sure. But nevertheless, if you like this video, like it. Comment below with your opinions. What matchups do you think will stay? What matchups win rates surprised you? Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, Go to the Discord and link. Go to the link to go to the Discord in the description. That was still worded all screwed up, but you got the point. Patreon link is in the description as well, and thank you for watching.